What if there was a really simple, daily ritual that could completely transform your self-confidence? Seriously. No fancy equipment, no subscriptions, just you, a mirror, and a few minutes every morning. Okay, let's dive into this surprisingly powerful tool for rebooting how you see yourself.
So, be honest. Have you ever caught yourself talking to your own reflection? Maybe practicing a difficult conversation, giving yourself a little pep talk, or just kind of thinking out loud. It might feel a little strange, but trust me, you are not alone.
In fact, the source material for this explainer jokes that this habit can get so enthusiastic that you might have your neighbors wondering if you're about to make your Broadway debut. But hey, while it might look a little eccentric from the outside, there's a real strategy at play here.
So is this just a strange morning ritual, something a little odd we do when we think nobody's looking? Or is there something way more powerful going on? Let's reframe this very common, very private act.
Yeah, let's be really clear about this. This isn't just some quirky little habit. For a growing number of people, this is a deliberate power move. It's a way to fire up your motivation and really take control of your day before it even begins.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. Staring at yourself in the mirror, isn't that a bit, narcissistic? But that's a huge misconception. This isn't about admiring how you look. It's about building who you are.
So let's give it a name, mirror talk. Think of it as a conscious strategy. You're using it to nurture self-assurance and, maybe more importantly, to mentally gear up for all the hurdles the day's going to throw at you, big or small.
So how does this play out in the real world? Well, the source introduces us to Clara. She's a 34-year-old entrepreneur who started doing this about 5 years ago, right when she was launching her high-pressure startup. Clara says it herself. Every morning, I stand in front of the mirror and give myself a motivational speech. For her, it's a tool to set a positive mindset, especially right before a huge presentation or a make-or-break meeting. It's basically her secret weapon for staying sharp and confident.
Okay, so we've got a great real-world example, but what does the science say? Let's shift from personal stories to the psychology of why this simple act can be so incredibly effective.
And no, this isn't some magic wand or just wishful thinking. Psychologists actually back this up. It taps into some really fundamental principles about self-perception and how we build our own reality. So what are the actual benefits here? Well, you're actively strengthening your self-confidence, for one. You're encouraging a positive attitude. But here's the big one. You're boosting self-acceptance. You're literally looking yourself in the eye and affirming your own worth. It's like putting on mental armor before you head out the door.
All right, so you get the why. Now let's get into the how. How do we turn this idea into a practical, everyday tool that you can start using, well, tomorrow morning?
And this can go way beyond just positive affirmations. Think of it as a rehearsal for real life. First, picture a specific challenge coming up, maybe that tough conversation with your boss. Then, actually rehearse what you want to say, out loud, to your reflection. It's a totally safe space to work through the nerves and fine-tune your message before the stakes get real.
So what's the catch? What are the risks? Honestly, there basically aren't any. But the upsides? They're huge. We're talking about better emotional control, a stronger and more assured presence. I mean, it's a classic low-risk, high-reward situation.
But there is one golden rule to remember. You don't need to deliver some perfect, polished TED Talk to yourself. The goal isn't performance. It's about being real. As the source says, authenticity is your best ally here, not perfection.
So when you put all these pieces together, what are you really doing? You are cultivating the most important voice you will ever hear, your own. You're becoming your own most authentic advocate.
People who do this say it best. They describe themselves as their own personal cheerleader, a built-in hype person. They feel like they're the boss of their own day. And honestly, who doesn't want to feel like that?
So at the end of the day, this isn't about vanity, it's about alignment. It's a daily practice of closing the gap between the person you see in the mirror today and the confident, capable person you know you can be.
This is just a simple but profound tool for empowerment that's available to you every single morning. So the only real question left is, what are you going to tell yourself tomorrow?